Hello, everyone, and welcome to Open Table Adventures. I am here today as your master of games, your keeper of mysteries, your maker of monsters, Dan the Baker. And I am here surrounded with some beautiful friends of mine. We're going to be playing some Monster of the Week. For those of you who do not know, Monster of the Week is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. It is a system inspired by all of your favorites: Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Scooby Doo, Supernatural, all those fun, spooky shows where hijinks ensue and monsters are aplenty. we are. I was about to say we are gathered here today, but this is not a wedding.
We
Yeah.
can make it one.
Not yet.
I mean,
I'm
yeah, if we want to
ordained, I
make it
could,
one, we
yeah.
can.
I'm here today with some of my friends. We're gonna be playing some Monster of the Week for you guys. Going around no particular order. We have Alex
Hey, everybody.
and Alexander.
Hey, everybody.
Okay. Indigo,
Hi.
Ace,
Hello.
and Danny.
Hey, yo.
All of their socials and where you can find them online, not in person, will be down below. And this particular game, our settings happen to be the various national parks of our great, wonderful country here, involving a team who is investigating mysterious creatures and animals that are appearing there. So without further ado, let's get started. We start with an aerial shot, overlooking a lush mountainscape filled with the colors of springtime in Appalachia. Sprawling over 300 square miles of the Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah National Park lays out before us. Home to hundreds of varieties of plants, animals, and other things, dotted with hikers, campers, and people just wanting an escape. We zoom in now towards a quiet pasture, quiet save for the soft bird song that lilts over tall grasses and wildflowers. Far away from the roads, signs of humans are few and far between. A long abandoned dirt patch campsite, a handful of wooden trail markers, and of course, bright yellow caution tape spiderwebbing across several trees, blocking the flattened dirt trail, and further marked with a "Do Not Enter, Trail Closed" sign hastily planted in the ground. That's where we start our story today. And someone roll me a d6. Let's see who we're gonna zoom in on first. What character we're gonna zoom in on first?
Roll a d6.
One.
Oh.
Yeah, a 1. Okay.
Yeah, lovely first roll. Totally
Uh,
not a bad omen.
We'll go with the 1. So we'll say I'm just going in the order of like whose faces are in my screen right now. Alex, I would like you, as we zoom in on your character, break us off a description of what they look like, what they're doing, and what song is playing in the background as we find whatever they're doing.
You cut in to like a middle-aged, clear, obvious mom, strong mom energy, like kind of feathered, blonde hair graying at the roots, gigantic backpack, like red t-shirt, wearing jorts, hiking boots, she's like snagged in some brambles, and she's going, whoa, oh shit, oh, and she's just struggling to get out of there. It's clear she's been walking for a while. This is Mary Edith. And I think like ABBA's Dancing Queen is playing in the background from like some Bluetooth speaker that she can't quite figure out how to like turn off somewhere in the backpack.
Yeah. Mary Edith has found herself in Shenandoah National Park today, enjoying some of the natural sights and sounds around her. One sound that she does hear, kind of not totally in the distance, but pretty, like not directly in front of her, is the sound of a siren. A like police or ambulance siren. How does Mary react to that? What does she do?
She's struggling against the brambles, then she probably hears it for a second, and that's enough for her to kind of like relax enough to just like slide out of the backpack. But she's listening to it because I mean she's been on her own for a while, and I don't think a siren is that common of a noise out here in the middle of the national park. So I think she's probably interested and begins to, after removing her backpack and placing it back on, begins to move in that direction.
Cool. Yeah. You move where you were on the trailhead. You were kind of on your like loop back towards where like the parking lot is, getting back on the road, back to the main highway. And you moved down there after not even too long of hiking. You see a small crowd of maybe 6 or 7 people has gathered a safe distance away, watching as a pair of hikers are laid out on stretchers, being loaded into an ambulance. They're not like covered. They're alive. They're just they're strapped down though.
So who's in the crowd? Just kind of like general people in the park, or like a cop, park ranger?
You see, it's mostly just other hikers. You see a kind of petite-looking young blonde woman in a what you recognize as like the park uniform, as well as there is like a police officer and the paramedics who are tending to the hurt hikers.
Okay. I'll move forward toward like the young woman in the park uniform and just go, "Hey, dear. What happened?"
Oh goodness! Hey, would you mind turning that down for me? She says, pointing to your speaker that is still playing
okay.
ABBA.
She's just like reaching around, unzips it. She's like, I never know how to do this, and then just like hits the button a couple times and just abruptly cuts off.
Yeah. A couple hikers down near, up near Thornton Gap had a bit of a fall, and we're dealing. They're fine. They're just getting over to the hospital, make sure that there's nothing too serious, but everything's fine. Everything's safe. And also, you see, she has a little name tag that says Sandra.
Oh, Sandra. That's a nice name. I'm happy they're doing okay. And does she seem like confident? Like, I don't know. Should I take this as like, oh, I should get out of the park, or is it like, oh, there was just like an accident that happened?
I think you would probably take it as it was just like an accident. Like it's the way she seems. She doesn't seem like she doesn't seem like she's getting you, trying to get you out of here. She does continue, and she says, we closed off the trailhead just for, investigative purposes. So if you were heading out that way, unfortunately it's closed for right now, but probably within the next couple hours it'll be up and running again if you were looking to, go in the gap, go find the overlook and all that.
Mary Edith pulls out this piece of paper where it's just written down all the places she wanted to go here, and that's clearly circled as something she was gonna do later today. It was kind of looks a little pouts a little bit, but then kind of pulls herself back together and just it says bye, and then just kind of finds somewhere to wait it out and for the trail.
Okay. Yeah, there's some there's a picnic tables, that's what they're called, over near the parking lot that you can put your bag down. Probably you have some trail mix or something that you are snacking on. And we zoom out from you. Look for Ace. Give me a bit of your character description. What are they doing? What do they look like? And then, what song is playing in their background?
All right, so kind of just zoom in here to a bit of a very off the trails part of the park, where you see kind of a bit of a shallow kind of cave, just enough for it to be some coverage, and you kind of hear a bit of bickering as we see Sam, a kind of 5'2" kind of short little guy that's just bickering with this raccoon. And in the background's probably just some like kazoo rendition of Country Roads.
Oh god. That's I'm gonna have nightmares about a kazoo country road. Excuse you, ex kazoo you. Uh, what are you bickering about? What's the general gist of what y'all are arguing, you and your raccoon friend?
So you can see Sam holding a clearly very well endowed wallet. She's being like, Dave, we have talked about this. You cannot keep doing this. You can't take wallets from the people. You're gonna get us caught out, man. I don't want to get kicked out of the park. And it's just raccoon chittering. He's like, no, Dave, you don't understand. You are a raccoon. They will take you away. It's just more chittering. It's like, do you know where the person is that you took this from? And it's just raccoon chittering. It's like, what do you mean? And it's just like more raccoon chittering. It's like, stretchers. That's kind of weird. Dave, what the fuck did you do to these people?
I think at this point, Dave probably does kind of get up and skitters out of the cave, trying to lead you to wherever he found this wallet was.
Like, Dave, are you finally turning a new leaf? Oh, thank fucking God, we're actually returning something for once. And you see Sam kind of just pull up a very well worn out backpack full of just a few things and just walks off after him.
Does Sam normally probably stay a bit off of the beaten track, off of like the actual trails, right?
Yeah.
Which, yeah, the raccoon has no sense of what a trail is, as far as I know. Not to assume anything about raccoons, but he leads you a little bit of ways from the cave that you're currently staying in, towards what you know as Thornton Gap, which is a trail that's like, it's a fairly treacherous, like bit more for a bit more experienced hikers trail. It's not like your everyday thing, because it is a bit more elevated and there are like cliffs and whatnot. And as you kind of approach, you can see on the like actual trailhead, you can see that yellow tape and that sign saying the trail is closed. But Dave does continue on towards the base of a large cliff.
Well, fuck it. And Sam just starts like scaling after him, and it's just like talking, like kind of whisper yelling, just like, what the fuck did you do, Dave? Did you push people off the cliff? And like Dave just takes a second and looks back and just like, okay, to be fair, it's not the worst accusation that I could have given you. It is very online with what you could do. And just continues to scamper off. It just like continues just following, just trying not to get caught by the park cops.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, right now there really isn't anyone around. It seems like anyone who was around is probably over where Mary Edith is. Not that you have any concept of who Mary Edith is at the moment. As you get towards the bottom of this cliff, you see this is where Dave stops and kind of just like gestures to a kind of flattened bit of earth, and is gesturing and says that in his little raccoon language, this is where he found the wallet after seeing a pair of hikers rushed away on stretchers.
I can't exactly give a wallet back to dirt, man. Should I just... Do I need to, like, throw this at, like, inconspicuously off the cliff towards the guys at the other area, and then we just, like, try to make a run for it, and, like, just hope they're like, oh shit, a wallet fell off the cliff? A clue! And Dave just, like, gives a look like, You are the stupidest human being alive.
As you are sitting here talking with Dave, you hear on the top of the cliff, or near the top of the cliff, you hear what sounds like movement. What sounds like trees rustling.
Strange. I don't think another person would want to be here, and I'm pretty sure the deer path is a little bit farther away.
Mhm.
Yeah, I say this is about time to get the fuck out of here. Alright, let's go, Dave. Come on, Dave. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, and you guys rush back towards the safety of your cave. Do you keep the wallet?
While we're kind of climbing back up the cliff and kind of get a brief glimpse of people, I just chuck it towards the closest, like, part.
Towards, like, onto the trail, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like.
Perfect. Lovely. Yeah, we kind of, we stay here at the trailhead as you run off, hearing the sound of this fat wallet hitting dirt, which is a sound we've all heard before, obviously. As Danny, I'd like you to describe your character, what they're doing, how they look, and their background music.
Yeah, so you see this kind of androgynous looking East Asian femme presenting person with kind of like an undercut and like a cool little blue mohawk, kind of a little disheveled, but you know it's like purposely disheveled, and she's in like a full glam makeup, like probably very confused on why somebody that looks like this is at a trail or at a national park. And you see her on her phone, and she's just kind of editing music, and you hear Kesha's TikTok playing at very low volume, and you kind of hear residuals from a background video that she's looking at, and you hear her voice saying like, "And remember, cuties, everything is content, and cryptids can be cute." And she flips off her she closes that app and then opens up another one and is editing another video she just shot, and then the camera kind of pans away a bit, and you can kind of see like almost like a studio setup right on the side of the road, where there's like a tripod, like 2 lights, you see like a boom mic kind of haphazardly taped around a tree, and she's been filming some content, trying to get a great intro during kind of like this sunsetty dusk era, because that's good lighting.
Golden hour, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, as you're flipping through your apps on your phone, we get kind of just a moment looking at your like your browser, your like Google Chrome that's up, and you can see the article still up there from one of the many maybe reputable sources that you use to find wherever your next thing is. You can just see the article saying strange creature attacks at Thornton Gap ? And it seems to be some sort of like local Virginia-esque National Enquirer, essentially. And that's what brought you here, some sort of creature attack in Shenandoah.
Yeah, and you see her try to open up the Maps app, but nothing is really loading fully. And for Zandra Zhang, or Zizi for short, for Zizi, anything that's not immediate is very frustrating. So you literally see her open up the Maps app, it doesn't load, she closes it out, and she reopens it like 3 times in a row, just very angrily, and then just kind of goes back, and it's just like, well, if there's nothing, if I can't find out where to go, I might as well just make use of this good lighting. And she's gonna try to get set up for like a little mini photo shoot in her new fit that she put on.
Cool. Yeah. How close have you set up to or you said you're still like you're close to like the road, right? Did you say or?
Yeah, probably like if there's like a parking lot or public parking, probably not if it's by the trailhead, probably in like a part that's cut out and probably taking up maybe 3 to 4 parking spots. Not very not thinking about other people.
Yeah. I'll say you probably didn't set up. You had at least the consciousness to not set up near the where like the ambulance is, because that would definitely mess up your lighting with all the flashing lights. And if that siren went off, then like there goes your audio. So you're like the next parking lot over, which is only maybe like 250, 300 feet away. So you get to see as the ambulance, followed by a cop car, drives down past the road back towards where like civilization would be and where the like local hospital is.
Yeah, and I think when the ambulance drives by, she gets frustrated again, but then she's like, huh, an ambulance. And she's like, remember, everything's content, so she takes her phone and just starts running towards the ambulance.
Following the ambulance?
Yeah. And leaving
yeah.
the whole setup. Just like, she'll buy
Very
another
safe.
one.
Yeah. You see the ambulance is like heading now like towards like the hospital. So do you just follow it towards like that? Or...
Maybe just trying to like zoom in on like the license plate, where like the closest town is, and just trying to gather like anything weird. And then the camera kind of like her phone camera kind of pans over, and then she'll follow the where the ambulance is leaving from, to try to like interview anybody else that might have some idea of why there was just an ambulance here.
Yeah, you see the ambulance. There's a wow, forgot every word that ever existed.
Xandra has that effect on people, so
yeah. But you said it says Luray, Luray, which is like the closest larger town to where you are right now.
And how like is that like drivable, walkable?
It's
like,
more drivable. Like you have to get on the highway.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a small little town, but like there's a small little hospital there. It's also where like the headquarters for Shenandoah National Park is. You probably would have, in your minimal research, probably would have found that.
Cool. Yeah. So after I figure out that this ambulance is from Luray, I walk back down towards the path that the ambulance took to see what's up. If there's any like locals there or any hikers there or anything like that.
You see there's a like slowly dispersing group of hikers, as well as one park ranger. You see a middle-aged looking mom sitting on a park bench eating trail mix with a large backpack. There's a couple what appears just like hikers and trail and park goers.
Okay. I would Zizi would walk straight up to the park ranger, and it's like, hey, excuse me, what the heck just happened? And can you say it right into this camera? We might have to do 2 takes, but we'll start with this one first. Well, actually, let me flip this around, and she turns on the selfie camera, and she's like holding it like this, so the park ranger's right behind her. Okay, ready, set, tell me what happened.
Oh, okay.
Introduce
hello.
yourself.
Oh, hello, hi. My name is Sandra Walters.
Sandra? My name's Sandra. Cute.
Oh my goodness, coincidence. I'm the park supervisor here on this section of the Shenandoah National Park, and a pair of hikers were getting a little too close to the cliffs over at Thornton Gap and took a tumble down into about a 60-foot drop. Luckily, some foliage did break their fall, so their injuries weren't too severe. But they did probably have. It seemed like they had some head stuff going on. 'Cause they were talking major nonsense.
Y'all heard it here first. Sandra is really bad at her job. More to come, and then flips off the
Excuse
camera.
me. What? Oh,
Oh, sorry. You said that you're the park ranger on duty, correct?
I'm the park supervisor. Yeah.
Oh, so you are even higher than the park ranger. So you're supervising this park, and 2 people just left in an ambulance. So
Yeah.
I would just assume that that would be on you.
She kind of tightens her lips and huffs for like just a moment. I think I need you to give me a. You're trying to get like rile her up and get answers out of her, right?
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna need you to give me a manipulate someone.
All right.
So roll our first roll of the game. Roll plus charm for me.
Rolling plus charm. All right. Oh, a 6.
A 6. So a 6 is a failure. So go ahead and mark experience.
Whoop, whoop.
So yeah, that I think she fully goes tight-lipped, and just says, I I think I'm gonna have to ask you to turn the camera off, and go about your own business. I have some paperwork to deal with, and enjoy the rest of your time here at Shenandoah. And she just starts walking away.
And then, kind of secretly, ZZ turns on her phone again and like low key like films her walking away. And I think while that's happening, she kind of like sees Mary Edith on the bench and kind of like zooms in and it's like, ooh, snacks, and just like runs over there.
Cool. Yeah, ZZ runs over to Mary Edith. Yeah, Xandra, or would you prefer Xandra or ZZ?
ZZ.
ZZ, okay, yeah. ZZ, you head over to this park bench currently occupied by Mary Edith, her large backpack, and an open bag of trail mix.
Oh, and it's a gigantic bag of trail mix, clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Made.
It's one of those like gallon freezer bags for sure.
She's like clearly only picking out the M&Ms, but trying to be discreet about it. There's just so many raisins at the bottom.
And
I mean,
ZZ
let's
just
be real,
plops
aren't we
down.
all?
ZZ plops down right next to Mary Edith and it's like, oh my gosh, I know raisins are the worst. Next time you could just buy the M&Ms. Let me get some. And then tries to like reach over and grab something out of her hand.
Just like pulls the bag like, whoa there, kiddo.
Hey, sorry, my name's ZZ. What's yours?
Mary Edith.
God, thank goodness. I thought you were going to be another Sandra. There's too many of those around here. So please, hands out, like holds her hand out.
Well, he did say please, and then so she just like gives you a handful of mostly raisins.
And ZZ will be picking out like the raisins and just like throwing it behind her haphazardly. And it's like, so do you know what happened around here? First I saw a ambulance just kind of take off, and then Sandra's supervisor, park ranger person is a little rude. Although I did kind of put her on blast because I said she was bad at her job. But do you know anything?
Oh, I think some people on the trail took a tumble.
That's it?
What do you think?
And
Like a
ZZ
rather inquisitive young woman.
ZZ pulls out her phone and like pulls up that article about. Well, sorry, what was the article about? A monster you said earlier. That brought me there.
It was a creature attack at Thornton Gap. Was like the headline essentially.
Thornton Gap. And shows Mary Edith this, and it's like, yeah, there's like a creature attack. Like, not to be one of those weirdos or anything. I hate conspiracies because I'm all about facts. But what if this creature pushed these 2 down, caused them to go to the hospital? That could be a thing.
Ah, yeah. She's looking at your phone, accidentally hits like this button that like makes it go black. Just kind of looking at it, still just nodding along to what you're saying. Ah, yeah, for sure.
Oh, so you agree? Things could be so weird. Do you want to be a part of my channel? I like your vibe.
He takes a second, just looks at the trees for a second, then nods. She's ready. She's putting herself out there again.
So ZZ whips out their phone and holds it right up to Mary Edith's face and be like, "Okay, cool. Just do like a 1-sentence intro for all the cutie cryptids out there. That's my channel. Cryptids are us. We call our fans cutie cryptids. It's a thing. Just say hi to everybody and tell us about yourself. Do it. Go."
Hiya. I'm Mary Edith.
Oh, that is perfect. And then closes off. Okay, cool. So, can I have some more trail mix?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, now she like moves the bag like in between the two of us. Just, she's happy to like have company. She's been out on her own for a while.
We zoom out of ZZ, hand deep in the trail mix, scrounging for M&Ms. Mary Edith looking on. We zoom out at this end of day light, the sun setting, and find ourselves wherever Indigo, your character, is. Give us a little description. What are they doing? What are they wearing? What's their backing track?
So you see this, I guess, relatively older gentleman. By older, I mean like maybe in his late 30s, starting to get close to his 40s, right? He's
You just pissed off a lot of people watching. Just
I know, and it is what it is, you know. But because it's older compared to me, okay, that's the context.
The crypt keeper.
The crypt keeper.
I take offense to
that. No, but because anyway, my train of thought now.
No, do go on.
Okay, so as he is kind of just like trying to stare at this kind of like mass that's on the ground, and he's trying to determine whether it is animal dung or it is not. And he's tempted. He's just been staring at it for the past couple minutes, and while he's kind of just come upon it as he's kind of exploring this park, and he has some headphones on, and he is listening to some basically kind of like almost kind of like church choral music, something that just kind of like very kind of like ethereal kind of things. It's something that he likes to listen to because it calm it, like he listens to it when he's trying to just like zone out and just get into like a mindset. And so it's not church music, but like think of like Renaissance kind of like
yeah, it's a madrigal.
Thank you. Something along those lines.
I majored in music history. What does he look like? What's his?
Yes. So he is. I'll say he's a relatively tall. So I would say maybe like 6'2" approximately. He has very utilitarian kind of clothing. So he's wearing pants that have like pockets on the legs, so he can store things. He has. He's wearing a kind of like like an adventurer vest. Like it also has like pockets in it. You know what I'm talking about. Like it has like storage compartments.
Yeah, very Crocodile Dundee-esque.
Yeah,
is what I'm imagining.
In addition to his backpack, obviously, because you have to have a backpack in this whole thing, especially when you're hiking out there. And he has dreads in his hair that are tied back into kind of like a ponytail. They're not very long, but it's just enough that he's able to still tie it back to keep it out of his face. And he has, I guess, I would say like very like dark brown skin for sure, and he's starting to get some gray in his beard a little bit as well.
Yes, you're sitting here. You are investigating this dung. What kind of tools are you using to, or are you just kind of staring hard?
Yeah, like he's staring at it, and then he decides to take it upon himself to take just kind of like a sample of it just to see if it is or not. He's not so much going to try to like really dig into it and like he's not gross about it. Like he doesn't want to get gross about it. So he just feels like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna take like his sampling tool and just put it into like a small little like vial, and he'll look at it later. And so he decides to kind of just like collect a sample and then put it into his like growing collection of
Mhm.
samples he's been collecting.
Yeah.
You
while
had
in
me
here.
so worried there for a minute of what was gonna happen.
I no
His
no no no
hands
no no no.
deep,
No,
mushed
that
in
was
it
the
like
intent.
Play-Doh.
Yeah, no. I was not
Press
gonna do
apart.
that. No,
Yeah,
absolutely
just
not.
add vial of poop to your inventory, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, you after your investigation, your deep dive into this poop, you look up and realize that the day has gotten away from you and the sun is starting to set.
He'll look up and notice that the sun is setting, and then he'll say, God damn it. Spent too much time just collecting just frivolous samples when I haven't even found anything conclusive. And he's kind of disappointed in himself because he seems to just kind of like get distracted very easily by just like the smallest clue that might be nothing.
Mm-hmm. Do you start heading back towards like your car or whatever?
Yeah, he says he'll determine that it's light out just enough that he could maybe afford to stay out maybe an additional like 30 minutes. So he decides to try to see if he can find any other things because he is also investigating this area for the creature that was seen attacking people in this park. And so he's trying to find any sort of like conclusive evidence to the attack or anything like that, or that this creature even exists while he's in this park.
Yeah. As you're walking, and kind of just looking for like interesting things, you see what appears to be like tracks, kind of right off of the path, like flattened, like flattened grass, basically, from what appears to be a larger animal. Larger than definitely any of the like you've mostly seen just like shrews and raccoons around.
I'll even when I see the tracks, I will so they're in flattened grass or that it's near some flattened grass.
It's like the grass is like flattened into the mud basically, so you can see. Yeah.
Okay. So upon seeing these tracks, he'll kind of like stop for a second, and then kind of stare and say, "Well, that is certainly interesting." And he pulls out his like he has a small camera that so he can like record images, and he takes a few images of it, and then he also takes out his like a measuring device, like a tissue tape measure, and like measures it, and then takes out his notebook and writes down like some details of it. Is there any? Can I? Let me see. Can I?
If you would like to investigate a mystery, you could.
That's what I was gonna say. Which move would this apply to? And it's investigate a mystery. So I will do that. Let me roll.
Yeah, roll plus sharp.
Yes. Oops. Nope. Okay, and what's my sharp? Let's see.
It would be a plus.
Nope,
2.
it's a 2. So that means it's a 7 plus 2, which is 9.
9. Okay, so it's a mixed success.
Yeah.
So that means you can hold 1, which means you can ask one of these questions, either what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to, what was it going to do, and what is being concealed here.
So I can ask any of those questions?
Just one of them, yeah.
I would say, what creature is this? Because that would be the first thing that comes to his mind when seeing this print.
Yeah. As you are kind of looking at this, you're measuring it, you're seeing like how it possibly could have shifted with over time, how long it's been here. You see that it appears to be um, like a mountain lion, which are in Shenandoah, but usually don't come like this far south.
Okay.
And as you are bent over in investigating this track, you are struck in the back of the head lightly. Not like it's not someone. It's not like someone comes and whacks you, but you feel something fall basically on the top of your head.
I see.
And you it falls off.
On the back of my head, and so
Yeah.
and I'll be like, son of a, and then I will kind of look around to see if there's anything behind me that would have struck me.
You see the object that struck you was what appears to be a large wallet.
Yeah.
And
So
you can hear the sound of like someone. They're not like running off, but you hear like fast-paced movement. Pretty close to you. You don't see it because it's you're in a denser part of the forest, but you hear it.
okay, so I will go down to pick up the wallet, and I will look at it, and I'll open it up to kind of see like if if there's any sort of identifying name inside or anything like that.
Yeah, you see the ID is for a young man named Benny Guarez.
Ooh, okay. Benny Guarez.
Yeah, Benny, like Benny, and then Guarez, Guarez.
Cool. Okay. Sorry. Just wanted to write that note down. So I will be like, that's curious, and then I'll actually call out the name. Like, is there a Benny around here? Just because, since Benny's wallet hit me, I'll assume that maybe Benny lost it in some way near me. So I'll just call his name out just in case.
Sam, as you are walking away, you hear someone say, "Is there a Benny around here?" How do you react to that?
This scuffling, kind of just like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, and just like just scampers quickens.
Is that peace?
Into the forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you hear that that scampering you heard earlier now quicken away from you.
Okay. I guess, and I just hear this noise kind of going further and further away.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because I'm still engaged in this print, I don't know if I'm going to necessarily just chase after it per se.
Mhm.
I would just kind of be like, okay, that's weird. And then I just kind of put the wallet like amongst my things because I figured I would turn it in somewhere later. Yeah. And I go back to, I guess, seeing if there's any sort of other clues around this big print that's in the ground.
Mm-hmm. There's like that the park headquarters is just down the road, and they definitely would have like a lost and found situation for sure.
Yeah.
And you're looking around, and the lighting has become kind of just terrible for investigating at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really see anything conclusive. You see, like, there are other prints, but it seems like it's just kind of the same animal walking away, and then you lose it when the terrain becomes less muddy and is not malleable enough to form prints.
Okay. So then I'll just take it upon myself to be like, well, I guess I can, just, try to get some additional investigation done tomorrow. And so I'll, collect my things and start heading down the main path back toward the like the park station, to see if I can just turn in the wallet while I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we zoom in or zoom out of that as you are heading down the trail back towards civilization, and we now zoom in not onto a character but to a car. Alexander, what kind of car does your character drive?
So Paul probably drives like a Tahoe or like a Suburban type car, probably like black or dark green, depending on the national park. So it might be, in certain lights it might look black, and other ones maybe like a dark, like green.
Yeah, you see this car has
bud.
pulled off of the highway and is now slowed down and is pulled into the dirt parking lot, not the dart parking lot, the dirt parking lot of the Shenandoah National Park headquarters. And you hear the engine turn off. The door opens. What do we see? And what do we hear? What's the vibes?
So probably, as you know, the door's opening, you probably hear like a mix of like ACD or like ACDC or like classic rock kind of playing as it kind of fades off as the thing turns off. But stepping out, you probably see a gentleman, probably like stockier build, maybe like, 5'8", maybe like 5'7", on a bad day, that sort of thing. Like dark black hair, green eyes as he kind of gets out, and he's got what kind of looks like a park ranger uniform on. He's got the like the combat-y kind of boots, the dark green pants, like the tan shirt with like the leathery jacket. It's got the fuzz that kind of goes around the collar. It tosses his hat into the car as he kind of gets out and kind of adjusts his shirt a little bit and fixes his jacket and kind of surveys the scene a bit.
Yeah, you look around. It's pretty desolate at the moment. There's not really any other cars around. The sun is kind of just setting. You can see it over the setting over the mountains, casting all these oranges and pinks across the clouds. The almost full moon has started to rise into the sky. You have in your hand basically a manila folder. The inside has like the details of your current mission, and is on the top of it is a printed out version of an article that says creature attack in Thornton Gap, that we have seen now on ZZ's phone, that I'm sure Hamid has saw that brought him to Thornton Gap as well, and then also directions to where Thornton Gap is, as well as the headquarters, which you see now. It still has lights on inside, though you don't see, there's no people hustling and bustling.
Okay, so Paul probably kind of could adjust himself a little bit of hand, looking at through the middle envelope a little bit, go, okay, we got this. And then he's going to start heading towards the lights to kind of check it out, but keeping an eye on what's going around and who's walking around, if anybody. Just kind of see what the activity is in the area.
Yeah. Like I said, there's not really, you see there's some scampering animals, like the dusk animals who come out have begun to come alive. But you get to the entrance, you enter into the park headquarters. You see it's you can feel the hum of the lights as these kind of ancient iridescent bulbs hang overhead. You see a very maximalist decorated room of this lobby. There's a full moose head, even though moose aren't really in this park that much, as well as some large plush couches and chairs set around a large oak coffee table. There's a front desk, a service desk, that is currently unoccupied, but you see two doors behind it, one of which says Chief Ranger, the other says Park Supervisor. The door to the Park Supervisor's is closed. You don't see any light on behind it, but you see the Chief Ranger's door is slightly open. there's no one else around at the moment.
Okay, so if the chief ranger's door is the only one that's like kind of askew, I'm gonna walk over there and kind of take a peek in. Maybe slowly start to open the door.
Yeah, you peek in, start to open the door, and you see a man. You'd estimate he'd be like maybe in his early to late, or mid to late 50s. Bushy gray beard. You can see kind of his curly gray hair poking out underneath his hat. Dark-skinned man who is leaning probably as far back as physically allowed in his chair, his feet up on his desk, and he is out like a light. He is fully snoring, and is probably looks the most comfortable of like any person you've ever seen asleep in a chair.
I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna walk into the office. Is there anything like on his desk?
You see, there's an ancient computer that like there are college graduates older than this computer. It's there's some like paperwork and files, like things that basically he just needs to sign that do not have his signature on it. You see a picture of it's like him and like 5 or 6 small children that are probably like his grandchildren. And you see the placard that says Chief Ranger Randall Brown.
Randall Brown. Okay. Okay. So Paul's gonna kind of look over and notice that he is asleep. Excuse me. Excuse me.
As soon as you make a noise, you just hi, hello, hi.
Hi.
Excuse me. Come on in. Welcome. Who are you? Welcome. Hi.
Officer Brown, is it?
Yes. Yeah. You see, he stands up and offers a hand for you to shake.
Shake his hand. Agent Peterson's pet. Did they send you a note? They said my office said they were gonna send you something.
Oh yeah. Yep. You see, he goes through his various papers on his desk, pulls out one, looks it over. He pulls out his glasses that you didn't even notice that were sitting right under his hat. And reads and says, "Yeah, the PET. You all were sending someone over for looks like some possible animal activity going on in the park. Yep. I remember getting this.
Yes, sir.
Lost track of the time. Yeah, please, no, you don't have to call. Just call me Randall.
Randall. All right, Randall.
Randall
perfect.
Forsyth Brown, but you can call me Randall. That's what I will say.
All right, very good, Randall. So they sent that over. Have you heard anything? Is there any reports you can give me? Any sort of updates that we got going on? I'd love to get the. What time of day is it, by the way?
It's just around sunset, so it's like past 5, but like the headquarters is open until like 7-ish, or until they leave. Basically, it's one of those kind of things.
Okay, yeah. You have any information you can give me? I know I'm probably trying to get ready to get out of here pretty soon, so I don't want to take all your evening time up with your grandkids.
Oh, he sees you looking at the picture on his desk. He's like, "Yeah, those are my little grandkids. They don't live around here. Yeah, they live up in Pittsburgh. Get to visit them every now and then, or they come down. I show them the park and all that. And I got the missus back home, but she's and she's cooking up a pot roast for tonight, so I should get home as soon as possible, or else I ain't gonna get no pot roast."
Oh yeah,
But,
we don't want you missing that pot roast.
Was the door open next door? The office next door, was that open? Were there any lights on?
I don't think so. Was anybody in there? Or
If the lights ain't on, nobody's home. That's Sandra's office. She had to go out to deal with some activity earlier. She would have all those reports for you. But she'll be in the morning. I'm sure if you want to go get settled, in your hotel and come in first thing in the morning. She'll be able to hand over anything that she knows. She's the one who's kind of been investigating all these animal activities. I'm here if you need me for anything else. But she has the more official stuff for sure.
Okay. Oh no, yeah, that's no problem. I can get that. I mean, do you have anything unofficial that you've kind of noticed or seen, or hearsay type thing? Randall?
You're trying to give information, trying to get information that he might not want to give. So I'm gonna have you roll and manipulate someone for me.
Okay. Ooh.
To roll plus charm.
Plus charm. That's not good. 6.
6. Okay, yeah, that's a failure. The mark experience.
Oh man.
But he ain't gonna budge. But he says, nope, I haven't. Nothing super out of the ordinary. There was just some. I think they were worried about some, maybe some out of season creatures lurking about. They kind of the stuff going on with the weather kind of freaks them out a little bit. They come in from up north or from down south or even from other areas that ain't even the park. Who knows? Maybe someone released their pet tomcat and he's running amok. Who knows?
Okay.
But yeah, I got a couple little hotel, motel, inn recommendations if you don't have any place settled up. I got some brochures out front. You see, he gets up and starts to move around towards the front. And as he does that, you hear the front door open. Little bell rings, and in walks Hamid, holding a large wallet.
And so he'll look around. And so is there any? So you mentioned this lobby. There's no one in the lobby, but there'd be people in the office, right?
Yeah, which I think
Okay.
You can probably, the door is now open, so you can see Paul and probably now Randall is coming around the desk.
Okay. So here one second. And so I guess I will head in that, instead of like seeing if anyone's there, I'll see that there's someone here and I'll just kind of walk in that direction. And I'll be like, and I'll kind of knock at the door to kind of like notify that like I'm looking around, like, is there anyone that's in charge around here?
Randall pokes his head out and says, "Oh, yep, be me. Hi, Randall Brown at your service. How can I help you, young man?"
Nice to meet you, Randall. So I found this. Well, I guess found is a weird way of describing it, but this wallet while I was out and about on the trails, and so I wanted to submit it for any sort of like lost and found, or maybe if the person would come back for it.
Oh, sure. Here, let me. Can I take a look at it? He goes to reach for it.
Yeah, seeing that he's a ranger, I don't have no issue giving it to him.
Yeah, he flips it open, scans like the ID, holds it out to here, squints a little bit. You see, he mouths that name. Benny Gawaris. I know that name. I heard that name on the radio. Oh, that's the young man who was shipped off to the hospital earlier today. He must have dropped his wallet in the little. Where did you find this?
Oh, I think it was definitely in the, I have to remember the name of the place. Thornton's, it was near Thornton's Gap for sure. That's where I've been walking around. Yeah, it was odd. I didn't actually find it on the ground. It kind of hit me in the head. The strangest thing. I don't know where it would have come from otherwise, but yeah.
You said it hit you in the head?
Yeah, like on the back of the head. Like I was investigating some tracks on the ground, and then just something hit me on the back of the head, and I heard some movement moving away, but I called out and no one answered. So I don't know.
There's nobody else around you.
Not that I mean, there was something or someone around, but they didn't show themselves, so I do not know.
Maybe a large bird grabbed hold of it, thought it was like a vole, and then dropped it. That's possible. That's happened before.
Oh,
it has it?
Sure, of course.
Okay.
Of course it has. Yeah.
And I
all
like
the
it,
time.
knowing that birds are not that dumb. I'll just kind of question that, but I won't press it because it's not important at this moment.
Here, for now, I'll put this wallet in the safe that we have most of our lost and found stuff that we have here under the service desk. He kind of shimmies his way out, and he doesn't even unlock the safe. Like you can see under where the chair would go in, there's a large safe. He doesn't even unlock it. He just kind of pulls it open, and puts the wallet in. You see, there's a couple other things in it. Like there's like a key, like like a ring of keys, what would it be, like a small like notebook in there. He throws it in there, and then closes it. Does not lock it again. And he turns. And what was your name, sir? Just so I know.
My name is. So he sees himself as a doctor, even though he's not. So he'll say.
Same.
It's like, I'm Dr. Alvar. Nice to meet you.
Oh, a doctor. Oh, we could have used you earlier. Wouldn't even need to call the ambulance.
Well, I'm not that kind of doctor. So.
One of them fancy doctors. One of them learned doctors. I got you. That's nice.
And you mentioned that there was an incident. I mean, so this person. So you know about this person, and they seem to have hurt themselves.
Yeah, good Benny there. Him and a friend of his were doing some hiking up at Thornton Gap and fell off a cliff. They probably, we had some rain a couple days ago, so maybe they hit a muddy patch. It seems like they were somewhere they weren't supposed to be. They were kind of a little bit off the trail. They took a tumble, good 60 odd feet, but luckily they didn't seem nothing too serious. Maybe some head stuff from what I heard, but nothing too crazy.
Oh wow, that's quite interesting. Hopefully, as long as no one is more seriously hurt, hopefully they recover quickly. And you said that they were taken away, and no one saw like how they fell. It's just that they fell.
I think now I'm gonna need you to manipulate someone for me.
Interesting. Okay.
Sure.
Fair enough. But my charm is also not the greatest, so I'm going to let's
Get lucky. Just roll 2 6s. It's fine.
Oh no. 3.
Cool. Hey, mark experience.
Doing so.
He says, they were, some, no one saw them fall. Some passing hikers found them at the bottom of the cliff, and we rushed them to the hospital. So they should be a-okay. And I haven't heard anything from the docs over there yet, but hopefully in the morning we'll have a full report of what happened. But that's the park is completely safe, if that's what you're worried about. I think, like I said, they were somewhere they shouldn't have been.
I don't think I was not concerned about safety, just because any place is hazardous, really, especially when it involves nature. Nature can be a fickle thing, so that was not my concern. It's just still, when someone's hurt, it's always good to know how they were hurt, just so you can avoid it yourself.
Of course, safety first. But if y'all gentlemen wouldn't mind, I do got to do my closing up duties and get on with the evening. Enjoy the rest of your time you find yourself here in Shenandoah. I hope you stay safe.
All right.
Well, good night.
Thank you, Randy. And I'm going to shake his hand up. I suppose I'll be seeing you in the morning.
Yes, sir. I'll be looking forward to it. You see, he follows you. Sorry, something just fell from my neighbor's window. Then it really lost my train of thought.
Was it a wallet?
It's okay.
It was a
wallet.
It was a wallet.
No, it was like something plastic.
I will say,
Oh my
I will
gosh.
say, when you said the word well-endowed wallet, I'm like, it threw me for a second. I'm like, a well-endowed wallet? What kind of wallet is this?
It's a
And then
thick wallet.
it took me
I want.
it took me 2 seconds to actually understand the context, but because I'm like, I don't hear well endowed and describing a wallet ever. So it was like,
I think of weird words and I just say them.
I was like, what is this wallet? Is this a long wallet or something?
Just a thick wallet full of cash.
There you go.
But yeah, Randall follows you to the door, opens it, and allows you out. You hear the click of the lock as you've stepped outside. And what is it? Do the two of you part your ways?
I guess I will. I guess I'll look at him and I'll just be like, so, are you just arriving here or?
Yeah, yes sir. Just arrived in just not too long ago. Doctor Alvar, you said?
Yes, Dr. Alvar. Dr. Hamid Alvar.
So you said you're not a Mexican. What type of doctor are you? Botanist, horticulturist? What
Oh no,
is your...
I specialize in. I mean, not many people want to be in this field necessarily, but basically just unusual creatures. So think of just like cryptozoology.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, I'm a little familiar with zoology and the cryptozoology of that. So awesome, fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Well,
You're into crypto.
Oh, gosh. I would say I would love to discuss your theories on various things. Where are you staying?
I think I am. Am I still trying to find a place, or did the agency set up something?
Yeah, you look in your little manila folder. Yeah. You see there is there are two separate places that are approved for you from finance. It's the Main View B&B and the Mimslin Inn. They're basically within a mile of each other, pretty close. They're in the town of Luray.
Okay. I'm still looking for accommodation. Where are you staying at? I'd love to chat with you more.
Well, I actually did have. What would you say the place was? I'll assume that I may have made arrangements with the same place, just so it's. Especially if it's Luray. I know Luray. I've lived in the area for enough time. I know it's not the biggest town. It's not like it has, it's not like there's fancy places. So I will have probably gone for that place too. So I'll say that I'm also staying there coincidentally.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So you said you're at a Thornton Gap when a mystery wallet struck you from a mystery. You didn't see anything around that area or nothing.
No, I just noted some very large animal tracks, but outside of that, no, there was nothing.
You guys head to whatever inn you've decided on. I'm assuming talking your craft of cryptology. But I want to, as the sun is fully dipped below the horizon, the stars have started coming out. I want to head over back to Zizi and Mary Edith. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Park Strangers. Make sure you stick around for more actual plays, for interviews, for talkbacks, for recipes, and so much more. So you're going to want to subscribe so you don't miss out. And I have been Dan the Baker, this has been Open Table Adventures, and remember, you are always welcome to pull up a seat. See you later.